booties for black girl nerds.
Thanks so much for taking the time to speak with me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you for this film because in a world filled with reboots and remakes and repurposed ideas in Hollywood, it's just so refreshing to see something original and unique and thought-provoking as Twinless. So I just appreciate an original story for once. And this brings me to you, James. This is such a unique story. What was the spark that inspired you to even write Twinless?
Yeah. I mean, I've always been interested in twins. I think there is something about the fantasy of the best friend. Obviously not all twins are the same, but growing up in the era of the Olsen sisters and sister, it felt like that was what I wanted and was missing in my life. And if only I could run into my twin in the forest, then that would fix all of my problems.
I love that. I've always wanted a twin also. I have a brother, but I've always wanted a sister and I've always wanted her to be a twin.
Yeah.
Dylan, for you, what were the aspects, or were there aspects of your own life or relationships that help you connect to your character's sense of loss and identity?
Well, yes. I mean, I certainly have my own experiences of pain in my life that I can connect to. And I think even specific things that I haven't necessarily experienced, I do feel like I've always felt deeply for other people's experiences as well. I mean, as far as my own sort of life and all the reflection we're doing on that now, just talking about the movie, something I've realized that might be relevant is along the same lines of any type of period of loneliness. I think as a child is a crucial element to connecting to this piece. And I certainly had that at one point. I was, uprooted as a kid at one point, and moved into an entirely different, world and a whole nother planet. But I do think that informs a lot of, I think more so than I even could realize, about how I ended up growing up through my adolescence and into adulthood. And and probably had a lot to do with how much I connected to this and could speak it as a language, or felt I could.
And James, back to you. How did the two of you work together in shaping the characters? Was it more collaborative, or did you have a very specific vision that you followed?
I mean, I'd say the vision is on the page, but it's absolutely a collaboration and the everything. I mean, from the physicality to the styling to the voice. I mean, Dylan was so surprising to me in his ability to be a chameleon and morph into these characters. I think particularly for the brief scenes that Rocky unfolds, we had conversations about I guess Rocky's like masculinity and femininity and how that might inhabit in different rhythms depending on the context of the scene. But yeah, I mean, that's my favorite part of directing. It's working with actors.
Awesome. Great film. Congratulations. I know that it was like one of the buzziest films over at Sundance, and I can't wait for this to come out and everybody else to experience what everybody did at Sundance. So thank you so much for taking the time to speak to Black Girl Nerds. I appreciate the conversation.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks so much for taking the time to speak with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. I love how you guys are paired together because you each respectively play these uniquely dynamic supporting roles to the co-leads in the film. So I'm glad that I'm able to speak to you in this way. I'm going to start with you, Lauren. You've played so many beloved roles. What felt different about stepping into this story and into this world for you?
I just really responded to the material. I would have played anything, but the fact that it was someone who is who's angry and in a tough place was appealing, because I have gotten to play people in a happier space, and I thought it was interesting and kind of weird that James is a big Gilmore Girls fan. And I was like, and you thought of me for this? Okay. And I love that. Like, I think it's part of his originality and his, I just really trusted him from the beginning that I could do what he needed me to do. But really, I just wanted to be part of the movie at all.
Who isn't a Gilmore Girls fan? I mean, just who isn't? Ashley, what's that?
They seem to be multiplying. I couldn't have predicted.
Ashley, for you, how did you and James Sweeney work together to help refine your character's voice and presence in the film?
That's a really good question. We had lots of conversations at the beginning about how he didn't want her to be, I'm going to get the term wrong, but he used like the pixie, what's that thing, the term, the something pixie girl in a movie.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we had a lot of conversations about that. And I said to him, you know, I know that have you ever found that if you smile a lot, I'm the kind of person who smiles a lot. And I think sometimes people think you're a bit of an idiot or an airhead if you do that too much. And I thought, I kind of want that for Marcy. I want Dennis to see her a certain way. And then through the audience, for us to see that actually, no, she has a lot more to offer than what Dennis initially thought. And so we kind of worked together on that to make sure that she wasn't just, you know, one note, smiley, happy, clappy. So it was kind of just through in the scene, I would ask him, do you think that's too much? Or do you think that's too perky? And, you know, he would tone it up and down depending on where I was at. So it was just a daily process through what we were doing and as well as the conversations from before.
But then as the film progresses, you get to see her character development, and there's more than meets the eye to who she is. So I like that about how it kind of unfolds. You see the layers of it. Lauren, back to you. The movie explores really complicated family bonds. How did you help build that chemistry together in such a short shoot?
Well, for whatever reason, I really connected with Dylan like right away in a way that was not necessary, especially because these two characters are kind of at each other when we see them. But I just had a feeling of having known him a long time, if that makes sense. And that doesn't always happen and that doesn't always matter, but it gave us kind of a shorthand. And I mean, I was there for a couple of days. So sometimes it just works. I connected with the filmmaker. I connected with this beautiful kid who's supposed to be my kid. And I just trusted the material, I guess. But I think Dylan is so fantastic. I'm just excited for people to see him in this.
Me too.
I'm excited for a larger audience to see it. I mean, it was one of the most talked about films at Sundance. And yeah, this is a brilliant film. You guys were amazing in it. And thank you so much for taking the time to speak to Black Girl Nerds. I appreciate the conversation today.
Thank you.
Better shake your booties for Black Girl Nerds. Better shake your booties for Black Girl Nerds.